Welcome to the 2026 Xtreme Bass Series podcast. This is the first podcast for us. My name is Brian Stahl, and I am your host for the Xtreme Bass Series and the Xtreme Bass Series podcast. We're already off to a rock and roll start for 2026, but first and foremost, want to thank all of our partners, all of our sponsors for the 2026 season. First and foremost, Falcon Boats, Mercury Marine, Power Pole, Copper State Tackle, Trojan Battery, Lowrance. Visit Okeechobee County Tourism, visit Central Florida Sports, Fitzgerald Fishing, Secure Outdoors, Marine Tech Systems, Aquatech Marine, BassBoatForSale.com, and Camp Mack River Resort. Again, welcome. Like I said, this is the first episode of the Xtreme Bass Series podcast. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a little outside of my comfort zone, internally, personally. I really have no idea what this is going to do, what direction this is going to take. But my goal with this is to just bring the information to you, the membership base and the anglers paying attention to the Xtreme Bass Series. Not sure if there's going to be one of you watching or 1,000 of you, but either way, glad you're sitting here tuning in with us. To kick things off, if you're not familiar with the Xtreme Bass Series, we are the largest grassroots non-professional bass tournament trail in the state of Florida. We are going into our 22nd season in existence. Kickstarted things off in 2004, 2005, in that area, and we've continued to grow over the years. If you've been interested in fishing with us in the past, if you haven't, but now you've, for whatever reason, the algorithm has tuned you on to this channel, and you're in the state of Florida or even across the Southeast, and you want to come down and fish with us. Just a couple of bullet points for the Xtreme Bass Series. $50 membership fee per angler. Entry into each divisional event is $120. We do have 12 divisional events across the state of Florida this season, from the Panhandle division around Tallahassee all the way east over to our North River division at the St. Johns River around the Jacksonville area, all the way down south to Sebring at Lake Istapoga and everywhere in between. It's 108 divisional events that we're running over the course of the 2026 season. All those events funnel down to the 2026 Falcon Boats Championship being held at Lake Okeechobee, October 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2026. At that event, we're going to be awarding a brand new Falcon F205 bass boat. It's going to be powered with a Mercury 250 Pro XS. It's going to be rigged out with power pole accessories, Lowrance electronics, Trojan batteries, secure locks to lock everything down. That boat valued well over $80,000 off the top of my head. I don't have the notes here in front of me on what that retail total value is with all the accessories added in, but it's well north of $80,000. How do you qualify for that event, you may ask? Well, it's very simple. Fish 7 events in one of our divisions throughout the course of the season, or 8 events in cumulative throughout all of our divisions. So if there's 4 divisions that you want to fish, let's say Central Florida, Toho, Swanee River, and Istapoga, if you fish 2 events in each of those divisions, that'll qualify you. That's 8 events in accumulation. If you want to bounce around and fish more than that, you're more than welcome to. Or if you just want to fish and focus on one local body of water, let's say you live down in Sebring and you just want to focus on the Istapoga division, or you live in the St. Cloud Kissimmee area, you just want to focus on the Toho division. If you fish 7 events in one division, that will qualify you as well. Our division points champions race this year is unlike any that we've had in the past. So in the past and over the past few years, I've always heard from you, the anglers, that you're looking to fish for more than just a top boat number on day one at the championship at the end of the year if you win the points race. And that is not something that I have ignored. I've actually, the last couple of years, tried to get some partners on board to help boost what that accolade is by winning the division. Because if you win your division, you're beating some of the, not just the top anglers around the state, but on your local body of water. So Copper State Tackle, as you can see, I'm wearing the ball cap today. Copper State Tackle has stepped up. The whoever wins the division will win the Copper State Division points race and will earn no-cost entries into the 2026 championship, courtesy of Copper State Tackle. The highest finishing team, or the highest finishing division points champion at the championship, will win the Fitzgerald Fishing Team of the Year and earn no-cost entries into one division of their choosing into the 2027 season. So Copper State Tackle Division points champions will fish against each other at the championship, vying for the Fitzgerald Fishing Team of the Year for those no-cost entries into one division. If you bounce around and you fish multiple divisions, multiple events, let's say you fish at least 12 events, minimum of 12 events, that enters you into our frequent fishing program for an opportunity to win the Mike Blocker Memorial Award, as well as $500 cash. So the highest finishing team in the frequent fishing program, that program is just fishing at least 12 events throughout the course of the season, will win that $500 cash prize. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, Falcon Boats F205 package will be awarded first place at the championship October 15th, 16th, and 17th at Lake Okeechobee. In 2026, you've got more opportunities to win extra money than ever before in the Xtreme Bass Series history. With Falcon Boats' new High Flyers program, if we have a minimum of 55 boats in any of our events, and you're fishing out of a qualifying Falcon boat in that event, and you win that tournament, you will win $5,000 in High Flyers rewards. You can win that up to 3 times in a calendar year. If we have events of a minimum of 35 boats or more, and you win out of a qualifying Falcon, that's $400 back in your pocket from the High Flyers program. You can win that up to 5 times a year. Power Pole Captain's Cash. If we've got an event with a minimum of 20 boats, it's $100 as long as you're registered with the Captain's Cash program. Trojan batteries. Some of you didn't know this until the championship just a couple of months ago. If we've got an event with a minimum of 20 boats and you have a top 10 finish, it doesn't matter if you're in 10th place, first place, 5th place, could be 10 teams within the top 10. All 10 teams within the top 10 will qualify for this program. If you're running Trojan lithium batteries and you get a top 10 finish, it's $50 back in your pocket. If you're running AGM or lead acid Trojan batteries, it's $25 back in your pocket. If you're running a combination of lithium and AGM or lithium and lead acid, it's $75 in Trojan horsepower tournament rewards money back in your pocket. If you focus on one division throughout the course of the season and fish all 9 events, and you get a top 10 finish in each of the nine events, so 9 top 10 finishes, and you're running Trojan batteries, you can win up to $675 throughout the course of the year. If you fish more than that, more events than that, and you get a top 10 finish, it's just more money back in your pocket. What I'm really thankful to Trojan Battery for, that tournament rewards program is exclusive only to Xtreme Bass Series. There's not another trail or organization across the entire country that is a part of the Trojan Horsepower Tournament Rewards program to date. So make sure you're taking advantage of those programs, put some extra cash back in your pocket. All right, couple of other updates for you. Big Bass of the Year side pod. I've ran a couple of divisional events so far this season, and there's still a bulk of you that are unaware of the change to Big Bass of the Year and the Big Bass of the Year side pot. So, new for 2026, we're incorporating a divisional aspect to the Big Bass of the Year side pot. We've gone from $40 to $50, just a $10 increase. This year, if you enter into the division or into the Big Bass side pot, $30 of that $50 stays with your division. $20 will get allocated to overall, but $30 will stay with your division. So we will have 12 divisional Big Bass of the Year awards in addition to the overall. Hypothetically, you could win your division as well as the overall side pot, but we are incorporating that divisional aspect as well. If you're fishing multiple divisions and you want to get into the Big Bass side pot for multiple divisions, it's just going to be an additional $30 for you this year. So you'll pay your first $50 to one division, and then every division after that will be an additional $30. So we're trying that for the 2026 season. We're going to see how that goes. We may readdress that into the 2027 season, but that's what we're going to roll with for 2026. To win the divisional Big Bass side pot, this is very important, you must fish a minimum of 7 events in that one division if you're going to qualify for it. So if you're only jumping in 2 events here, 2 events there, might not be that conducive for you to get in multiple divisions. But if you want to be eligible to win the overall side pot, you do have to at least register in at least one division with that $50. Now, to qualify for overall, nothing else has changed in that regard. You must still fish enough events to qualify for the championship to win the overall Big Bass prize. But you've got to have that entry fee paid in before you win that Big Bass side pot. I know that there's the last 2 weekends, we've had a couple of teams that opted not to get into the Big Bass of the Year side pot for the first event. It may cost them. It may cost them on not getting in if there are no fish weighed in over the course of the rest of the year for that division that are bigger than the ones that they caught this weekend. So there's 2 teams that I can think of right now off the top of my head that did not get in that. So hopefully, they don't end up regretting not getting in on that first event. All right. So we've had a couple of really cool announcements, and some of you may have seen our new trail, our new Copper State Tackle Limited Team Open events that we're going to kick off here in 2026. Let's bring that up on the screen here. So the Copper State Tackle Limited Team Open, we're going to kick things off February 21st on the Swanee River. We're going to move to the Harris Chain on April 4th. May 9th, we'll be at Orange Lake, and we're going to close the final open event June 20th on the Kissimmee Chain of Lakes out of Camp Mack. Our championship will be September 19th and 20th. You can go ahead and lock those dates in. We are still trying to dial in the location. I'm hoping to have that announced very soon, but I don't have everything lined up just yet. So some of you, or many of you, have probably seen this, but still kind of unsure how this is going to work. It's limited. It's the limited team open because we're going to limit the field to 60 teams. That's it. So the first 60 teams that get into each divisional event, or I'm sorry, to each open event, the first 60 teams, that's all we're taking. We're not taking 61 boats. We're not taking 62 boats. It's going to be 60 teams total. Now, it is a $600 entry fee per event for the team. If we get a full field of 60 boats, we're going to be paying back the top 10. That's a 1 in 6 payout. First place on a full field at a qualifying open event will be $10,000. So for a $600 entry fee for your team, you'll have an opportunity to take home $10,000 for your team. Throughout the entirety of the payout, we're going to be paying back $30,000 day of the open, any individual open event. So we're going to pay back $30,000 at the Swanee River, $30,000 at the Harris Chain, $30,000 at Orange Lake, and $30,000 at the Kissimmee Chain. That is as long as we get a full field of 60 teams. At the championship, if you want to qualify for that, all you have to do is finish in the top 15 at any one of those 4 events. You may finish outside of the money at one of those 4 events, but as long as you're in the top 15, you're going to get an invite to the end of the season championship for the Copper State Tackle Limited Team Open. Now, at the championship, first place is going to pay out $20,000 cash, guaranteed. So regardless of the number of boats that actually sign up and show up for the championship, it's going to be $20,000 for first place. Now, if we do get a full field of 60 teams at the championship, we're going to pay out a total of $50,000 at the championship. At the end of the season, throughout the entire course of the year, after all is said and done, we're paying back over 94% between those 5 events. So you may be asking, well, how can I get into the Copper State Tackle Limited Team Open? It's very simple. Priority registration is closed. Priority registration opened on January 1st. That was open to anyone wanting to fish all 4 events. That way they had an opportunity not only just to win more cash, but also 4 opportunities to make that championship in September. The individual event registration opened at 10 o'clock today. So if you didn't get in on the priority entry, let's say you just want to fish 1 or 2 events. At 10 o'clock this morning, registration open for individual events. You can find that registration link at xtremebassseries.com. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see 3 little bars. That's your menu button. You're going to drop that down. You're going to see Copper State Tackle Limited Open. There's going to be a plus sign next to that. Press that plus. It's going to do a drop down. There's going to be a registration link there. You're going to click that. It's going to take you to the registration page, and you can register for 1 event, 2 events, 3 events, or if you decided you want to go ahead and get in all 4 events, you still can. But once one of the events fills up, that's it. We're not taking any more. So let's just say, for instance, the June 20th event at the Kissimmee Chain. If 60 teams sign up for that, or the first 60 teams, fill up, that registration will close, but we may still have some openings for other events. So the sooner you get in, the faster you get in, the more of a guarantee that you're going to have to be able to compete in one of those events. So big thank you to Copper State Tackle for jumping on board with the new Limited Team Open Series. Any other questions on that, you can view the entire rule set xtremebassseries.com. All right, so one of the things that we're going to be utilizing this for is recent events, upcoming events. We're going to highlight some of our teams and anglers' accolades in our divisional events. We may bring some of you on for future interviews based off of your finishes. We may hopefully bring some partners onto this as well and have a conversation, interview them. That way they can tell you a little bit more about their brand, their products, things like that. So, but let's get into recent events. At Lake Istapoga, that's where we kicked the season off. The first event of the season was Lake Istapoga. We had a 19-boat field, saw Chris Macbeth and Kyle Wykorzik. And Kyle, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You can give me a call and maybe give me a couple of enunciation criterias on that, so I make sure that we get it right in the future. But Chris and Kyle topped 19 boats with a 17.07 pound bag. They also took big bass of the event with a 5.93 pound kicker. DJ Buckholt, Will Binion finished in second place with 14.95 pounds. Jimmy Newell and Bobby Dupree rounded out the top three with a 14.90 pound bag. All right. Moving on to opening weekend at Johns Lake. Father and son duo, Brian Nelson and Austin Nelson. They topped 15 boats with 14.91 pounds. They anchored their winning bag with a 6.63 pound bass. That also took event Big Fish. You can see that there, that one that Austin's holding in his right hand. Dave Simpson, Jason Foss, they finished the event in second place with 14.59 pounds, so it was a narrow win. Zach Jordan and David Kasser finished in third place with 13.11 pounds. And our third event, opening weekend of the season. When I say opening weekend, kind of makes me feel like deer season, but opening weekend for the Xtreme Bass Series was finished off at the Swanee River. Ed Mathis and Dominic Andux, they took the commanding win on the Swanee River with an 18.79 pound limit. They also took big bass honors with a 557 pound Swanee River kicker. Joey Pate, Jesse Nash, they finished the event in second place with 14.60 pounds, followed by Donnie Fiegel and Josh Lester in third place with 12.72 pounds. The following week at Central Florida, or at the South Winter Haven chain for our Central Florida division, Rodney and Aaron Yavorsky, father and son duo, they topped 24 boats with a 26.75 pound bag. It was anchored by an 11.19 pound big bass trophy catch. Chris Jones, Robbie Wright finished the event in second place with 23.02 pounds. Andrew Reedy and Jonathan Waters, they rounded out the top three with a 21.78 pound limit. And there's Rodney and Aaron with their winning bag there. Moving on to our North River divisional event out of the St. Johns River. Michael Hall, Cody Morgan, they took the win with a 17.16 pound limit, topping a 25 boat field. JD Romig, he fished solo for the day and took a second place finish with 1660. And Patrick Pierce and John Mobley, they took home a third place finish with 15.21 pounds. They also anchored their third place bag with the event Big Bass, a 555 pound kicker. All right. Andrew Reedy and Jonathan Waters, like I said just a little bit ago, they took a third place finish on Saturday the 10th at the South Winter Haven chain. They came back to the Kissimmee chain of lakes event, our Kissimmee division, the very next morning on Sunday the 11th. They took home the win, topping a 47 boat field. That's the largest field that we've ever had for the Xtreme Kissimmee division. But they topped 47 boats with a whopping 33.99 pound mega bag. You can see that giant 9.33 pound trophy catch in Andrew's left hand there. That took home big bass of the event as well. Ben Harris and Taylor Harris, they finished in second place with 29.31 pounds. John Stalin and Casey Gonzalez followed up in third place with 24.98. So Kissimmee Chain of Lakes really showed out ahead of that cold front that pushed through after that event. All right. So that is it for our event recaps. We'll have more at our next episode of this from our Harris Chain of Lakes, our Toho event, as well as our Johns Lake second event, because Johns Lake doubled up in the month of January. All right, upcoming events for you guys. On Saturday, January 24th, our Garcia division will have their first event of the season, followed by the Citrus division at Lake Panasoffkee on January 25th. On January 31st, our Panhandle division will hold their first event at Lake Seminole. And on the same day at the Swanee River, they'll have their second event of the season as well. All right. couple of updates for our Orange Lake division. If some of you haven't seen already, go to the website, check out the most recent update regarding Orange Lake. But water levels right now currently are too low to hold events out of Orange Lake safely. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of you guys were chomping at the bit to get your season started out there. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has dictated differently. So we are going to start things off at Lake Santa Fe for the short term until one, water levels come up at Orange Lake to where we're able to adequately hold a tournament out there. And two, the Hageberry ramp is slated to be open at the end of March, but there's no guarantees on that. So the goal is once that ramp, the new construction at that ramp is completed and they have opened the ramp up for public use, that we'll start running events out there. But until then, and until we're able to safely and adequately hold events at Orange Lake, we're going to be holding lakes at Lake Santa Fe. So once everything gets situated over at Orange Lake, we'll definitely be moving back over there. But please make sure to check the website for updated schedules. All right. Well, I believe that's all I have for this first episode. Thank you for tuning in. You can follow along with everything regarding Xtreme Bass Series at on the website, xtremebassseries.com. You can also access it by typing in xbseries.com or simply xtremebass.com. All three will take you to where you need to be. So until the next episode, tight lines, and we'll see you out on the water.